Welcome everybody to the WBC Podcast. We're going around the table. We got expert opinions combined with expert entertainment and definitely some interesting conversation. So welcome to the family. Appreciate y'all being here.
Been getting off of some of the dairy stuff so much, and
there you go.
Because some stuff with the baby and everything, and feed. Yeah. So it makes it you have to go into your think tank for food and how you cook stuff. You know what I mean? But it works out, man.
Right.
Coconut oil and just different stuff to just kind of keep the cook game strong.
Finding a way.
Yeah.
Yep. That's what's up.
Yeah.
Man, I hopped on a bike. I hopped on my daughter's bike today and had to ride to the AutoZone. It was probably 3-4 miles away, man. I didn't know how bad out of shape I was until I hopped on this little ass bike and tried to make it down there and back. I was damn near dying, dog.
Man.
Don't say you started walking the bike.
Fire.
Don't say you started walking the bike.
Right.
Do what?
I said, don't say you started walking the bike.
Oh, no. I didn't get off. I mean, I wasn't
only
for
for heels, man.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna quit. I stayed on the whole time,
hill,
up
man.
and
You
back.
walk it.
But when I got home, I was like, whoa.
I might walk some on the hill.
Yeah, I was about to say, get you on the right hill. I guarantee you walk it too, Mac.
Now, that depends on how much downhill I got before that. Zoom through it. Hey, man, I'll zoom through it. But you need that momentum. If you ain't got that momentum. But that's that cardio though, man. I told you, I've been doing this jump rope stuff. I'm on 10 weeks now where I've been doing at least 4 or 5 days a week. And now I'm up to 4,000 jumps. I started with 2,000 and I've just been kind of going up gradually. But that cardio, that's huge, man. Just to be able to move and breathe and sweat, just to get that in relative to wherever you at. Like you said, you ain't got to win no marathon, but you're still willing to get it in,
Yep.
I be trying to be careful at this age so I don't fuck nothing up. I ain't trying to have that Achilles story. But
you don't want that in your life. That's a problem.
Hell no.
Been there, done that.
I'm trying to live without the Achilles story. I had my calf, and actually I thought it was an Achilles when it happened on my right side. It was kind of that same dynamic where I just took a weird step, and then it just felt like somebody kicked me or something. But it ended up just being my calf, and that took like a month, and then I was good.
Yeah, you got lucky, my guy.
For real. That's that KD where they say it's only a calf. Fuck around, do too much. Now you got an Achilles.
Yeah, my Achilles still bother me. If I do something too much, it'll start swelling up.
But are you on it regular? Regular cardio?
My thing is with my knees in college and stuff, when I dislocated my kneecaps and shit.
There you go.
I got knee problems, dog. So when I start doing workouts and stuff, my knees swell up a little bit. Like they get sore and they swell up. And as long as I'm on them, they'll stay swollen. Like they don't just like adapt and go down and be cool. Nah, they'll stay. Like I did the insanity shit.
Yeah.
So for like 2.5 months, I was doing 6 days a week.
Yeah.
Working out. And for the whole time, my knees were swollen. So I finally said, you know what? I gotta give it a break, give my knees a break.
Nah, you might.
And they finally went down.
You might have to do it different though. You might have to do it.
I was modifying the shit out of it. Yeah.
No, I'm talking about like maybe the pool or the like a bike, stationary bike or something, instead of doing the impact on your feet.
Mm-hmm.
Now all that shit is relative to where we are. Cause man, if your shit getting fucked up when you do it on your feet, man, you can't do it like that. That's where with this age, cause I felt some stuff, like normally I would do cardio with a variety of things, but I've been doing the jump rope because of the cold weather up here. So I ain't going outside. I could just jump rope in the house. But I could feel some things for sure in my calf and Achilles where it get tight because I'm just doing the same thing with the jump rope. And I'm like, man, some days I might have a goal for a higher number, but then I feel something in my leg. I'm like, I ain't even gonna mess with it. I ain't got no game tomorrow. I'm good. I'm good. Hey, man.
Yeah.
But to be able to get something in, man, it's so crucial right now with all this, especially with all this shit going on. To be able to do something. Have you tried the pool or something? Does a pool swell you up too?
Nah, I got a pool, but the motherfucker ain't heated.
And you got a pool? There you go.
That pool is cold as a
Get out of here. Come on, man. And you got your own pool. I was thinking you're going to have to go to the gym. He got a pool in the backyard. And the cold is good for you.
In the summertime, I'll get down with it. Huh? I'm in Bakersfield, California.
In Cali?
Yeah, Bakersfield.
Yep, that's the home front.
Man.
Yeah, definitely. You know, that's close by my Visalia.
Oh, yeah.
So we spent some many nights in Bakersfield.
That's what's up.
Right on.
Talk about it.
I love my road runners.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Man, it's crazy.
Man. Yeah. You been watching any of these games?
You know what, man? I'm gonna be honest with you. Ever since COVID changed the game, it ain't the same. Like for me, watching these niggas play with no crowd, no nothing, it's kind of like just like open gym. I can't get into it. It's like there's no thrill. There's no
different emotion.
Yeah, I just don't feel it. I'm just like watching the game and it's just like boring as hell. Like damn. So I don't even. What I do is I go to YouTube after the game is over and I'll watch. They put together like the highlights, and it'll show like the whole game, how the game went, and I just watch that shit.
Man, this is definitely different. It's definitely different. I'm I'm still following along more so. I ain't watched really a lick of college. I mean, that's where I really see like the different emotion and stuff. Cause you don't know the players, you don't really identify with nobody. But the pros, being a Blazer fan, you know what I mean? And wanting them to do good. That's part of where it's easy to follow in, seeing what they tap in, seeing what they doing and stuff. But I hear that though, man.
Hey, what you think about the kid LaMelo?
I like him. Melo got some game, and he's actually doing better than I thought he was gonna do. Like he's holding up against the pros and the grown men a little bit better. Cause you remember he played in that Australian league and didn't do nothing really. It was kind of bummish.
I said one thing.
We say LaMelo.
Yeah. I said one thing about this kid when he came. If he was gonna come into the league and be successful, to me, he had to leave all that showboating to the side.
He ain't doing that.
Play grown man basketball, and he's doing that.
Nah, he's still showboating.
He's still throwing his passes.
Didn't you just say he's doing that, LP?
Yeah, he's
doing it.
No, I thought you said he's like cutting down the show.
No, he said that he didn't think that he should be doing the showboating, and then he came to the league and he is doing that.
And he's still showboating.
Yeah, like he's doing what you thought he could do.
Okay, that's what
So I'm like, damn. Okay, so so he's making me see him in a different light. Like this kid can actually hang with these dudes and play his game. Like, damn. Okay.
That's like though people say that Steph Curry is showboating. Steph Curry he just playing basketball, man, at like really like its highest level of when you talk about confidence. Because
but that's the thing,
throwing like behind the back left hand passes that sometimes it go out of bounds. And I done seen some playoff situations where you would be like kind of like, man, why would you make a pass like that right now? But that is just how he played the game of basketball, man. And I think that's like ultra supreme confidence.
Yeah.
But ultimately, he's successful.
You can't never beat nobody that's that good.
But he's successful, and they both are successful way more times than they're not. And when
they
are that stuff, when they do that stuff, they having fun. And then you want them to not show like they having fun? And that's just part of what they do. When they having fun, it looked like LaMelo is having a ball out there. When he's successful, got that big old smile on his face, and you know how it go. Somebody busting your head and they smiling, laughing. You ain't gonna like it.
You see the interview when they asked Lonzo. They was doing an interview with Lonzo and Melo, and they was telling them to like describe the other one, right?
Yeah.
And one of the things Lonzo, like, imagine your big brother when they go, what's one of the things, like first words that come to mind when you think about him? He's like, man, ultra confident. Like, he's like, man, he done been this whole life. Like, you know, being the big brother, you can tell when your little bro is like,
you got something to him.
The whole time, I could do it. I could do it. Whatever you can do, I could do. You can just tell he was that little brother. And then he got his grown man body.
Lonzo was a funny shot. You could see where Lonzo was affected when he shoot and people kind of, oh man, or like people were talking about his shot. Like you could see where he was affected. He lost some confidence. Melo, he said something the other day I saw where he was like, man, people been trying to change my shot since I was little. And I keep telling them no. And Melo's like, man, I make it. Like, you say it's a funny looking shot, but it keep going in. So he's like, man.
I read that article. It did say, yo, when he got to the league, they tried to mess with his shot.
Tried to change it.
He told them no too.
Like, nah.
He told them no too. He said no.
Nah, I ain't changing it. But Lonzo, where you could see where he was a little bit insecure with his.
Lonzo is a different dude, man. Lonzo is very reserved. He's not as confident and outgoing. Like you can see LaMelo when he playing, man. That shit is contagious.
Absolutely.
He looked like he looked like he having fun and make other teammates like have fun. Like that's just good basketball, man. I really hats off to the kid for coming in the league and doing it his way. I do.
Yeah, that's that Magic Johnson stuff, man. He really putting his bid in. Easy, kid. No. Stop. I ain't say he Magic. I'm talking about in terms of the way you said he's smiling, having fun, and it's engaged.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just we can talk. I ain't say Magic about to start in Game 6 and give you 42, 15, and 7. In the finals.
And play all positions and win the damn championship. No.
Yeah, come on, as a rookie, I ain't saying that, but
no.
His team ain't got no chance, obviously. But I think he got what it takes to be in the game in that type of magnitude, and at least just play his game. You know, whether you win or lose. You know, when you're out there having fun, that's when the pressure ain't as much of a factor. Because you enjoying it, you know what I mean?
Dude, at the end of the day, it's a game.
Yeah.
A lot of people forget that.
For real.
Yes, there's a business side to it, but it is a game. It's supposed to be enjoyed. It's supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be all of that, man. And exactly. I like to watch people have fun playing this game.
Yeah. That part.
Like, you know what's hard? I'm going to tell you this. You know what's hard for me to watch? When I watch Dame play,
Yeah.
Dame looked like he's upset. Like he got a chip on his shoulder. Like he don't look like he having fun. Dame look like he's trying to prove all the doubters wrong. Like every game just seems like he got something to prove.
He got some of that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like
busting people's heads open though. I ain't gonna take that.
Oh yeah, don't get me wrong. He'll bust somebody's ass. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's not as fun watching him because it doesn't look like he's enjoying himself.
I hear that. He got that other side of the coin where he's like almost Joe Johnson-ish, where you just kind of stay in that stoic.
No expression. And if it's an expression, it's a mean face. Like it ain't no.
People gotta be who they are though too. Also,
true.
You know what I mean? You ain't got that.
I'm just saying in terms of a fan watching, like I'm gravitating more to the people that look like they're having a blast out there versus somebody who putting in work. He put in work, but he ain't as fun to watch put in that work. Like even Steph, when Steph Curry is knocking niggas' heads off. You look like he having fun. He's shimmying and shit. I'm like, that's basketball.
Yeah, you smiling.
Yeah, that's basketball.
Clay don't do that. Clay's on the other end of that.
Yeah.
All the way on the other end. And he get ultra hot. But no, I think I hear you with that. I mean, that's part of some of this almost the intangible to where when you do that, because you can get players to gravitate with you. Also, when you're doing not just the fans, you can. I mean, that whole energy is infectious. Like when somebody
just
having fun,
just like if you got a negative Nancy on your team, that's a cancer. But if you got somebody exactly doing the opposite, that's infectious too.
For real.
I tell my girls that all the time when they playing. Like, yo, they gonna follow you if you show your emotion when you do something. When you out there, when they do something, show your emotion. That's contagious. People will start to gravitate to that, and your teammates will start to do the same thing. And if you all on that same level, that's intimidating to the other team. The other team looking at you like, dang, they look like they hyped up. Like, wow, I'm kind of intimidated. Like, that's just how it go.
They busting us and they having fun. But that's kind of what like we was talking about the last one of them weeks where like it's fun to be good. Like hooping was fun. But it wasn't as fun when you wasn't as good. Like you're playing in an open gym and you still finding your way or whatever. Like that ain't as fun as when you found your rhythm and you really in the gym busting heads open. Like that's when hooping is fun. It's fun to be good. You know what I mean? And then being able to be good and effective, that's when to me it's easier to bring somebody else with me. And then the time where I would get intimidated is when I know someone else is putting in more work and now I'm not going to be able to be as successful and it ain't going to be as fun. You know what I mean? And that changed the game to as far as your enjoyment experience. Mm-hmm. But like, man, putting that work in, you put that work in to be successful because that's the fun. Like, man, and then you get against better players and are able to still be successful, that's even more fun.
That wasn't nothing like playing in the gym with like NBA cats and still holding your own. That was the ultimate like I can do this. You know what I'm saying?
But I mean, if you go in there and you just are horrible, that ain't gonna be fun. Like, man, that's gonna wear off quick. Where there's Jermaine O'Neal. Like, man, I can't believe I see Jermaine O'Neal. And then you go out there and suck. Like, man, that ain't gonna be no memorable experience. But you go out there and do something well. I remember playing with him at Lewis and Clark. We had an open gym with him. This was after college. And I'm one of the taller dudes. So me and him is matched up. And I had a couple of good moves where I ended up getting my little junk off. And then there was one time where I had like a semi break, tried to go in and get one up. And man, this dude must have cleaned my stuff like two-handed. Man, like MJ did to Ron Mercer off the backboard. Like he snatched my stuff so bad. Like, nah, that's enough. you ain't doing no more of that. Like, man, let me turn this on you. But nah, it was fun though, man, just being out there with him and still being able to compete though.
Yeah, you're not just some pushover.
Yeah. That's the thing when you working on your game, like, man, you put that time in at any point. I mean, it improves with experience, but at any point in the game, no matter who you're playing with, you can do something that's gonna affect that game that you control. Whether it's, it ain't gotta be making a shot, whether it's talking, running the floor, deflection,
setting a pick,
you know, charge, throwing a good pass, switching on somebody, getting a good hand up. Like, there's so many different things you can do where you could really impact the game, no matter what, if you make a shot or not, you know? And it don't matter who you playing against. I got my son now where, I mean, they're 5th and 6th grade, so they're not even close to really being able to compete. But I'm like, man, you going against me, you just gonna give up? Like, I'm gonna take the win. If you just gonna come into the game like you know I'm gonna win, I'm gonna take the win. And you ain't gonna beat me until I turn 60. Like, I'm gonna try to hold this as long as I can. You better approach it like you think you're gonna beat me. I don't care if I'm older and bigger. Like,
stop backing him down, man. Face up, man.
Quit cheating. Nah, I don't do that.
Stop cheating, man.
You got videotape. I don't do that.
Hey, this man want to back him down. Hey, I thought
I don't do that.
I could have sworn you had kids before me. How your kids only in the 5th and 6th grade?
No, I didn't. Nah.
You ain't got none of your kids is big. What's your oldest?
8th grade.
What?
Yeah, you was way ahead of me. Beans had one.
For sure you had kids before me.
Nah, man.
Man, mine just turned 17 on the 23rd of last month.
Man, you at that end of it. Like, you approaching adulthood.
Yeah. It's crazy because when I talk to him now, it is different. It's like I'm having a conversation, just giving them knowledge versus telling them what to do all the time. Like, I love the transition.
Yeah,
it's beautiful, man.
And I'm like right there, but still able to see. But like, my daughter's 14, able to see you ain't ready yet. But now we in that tug of war of, I don't understand, but it's good information. But I don't understand it, so I don't want to hear it. It goes against what I'm saying, so I'm gonna go the other way. But it's still good information. I'm like, man, you ain't gotta understand yet. You will. Eventually you will. We had a fight over, man, I can't, some of these teachers, man, is weird, man. Just distance learning. The teacher will tell them where you only have to do this. I mean, I understand that to a certain extent, but what happened to teaching you to be the best you can do? You know what I mean? You only have to do this, but I want to encourage you to do the best you can do. So Talia ended up doing something, and she got a score of 81. And I'm asking her, like, what would it take to get to 100? And she started to lose. My teacher said I don't have to do that. I just got to do this, this, and this. I ain't asked you all that, man. What would it take for you to get to 100? But if I get to 100, it's not even going to help my grade. It's not going to do nothing. I'm not worried about all that, man. I want you to understand giving your best effort. What's your best? Is 81 your best? If that's your best, then I'll take it. But if it ain't your best, I want you to be in a habit of just doing your best. Man, we got into a real fight. Like, she was really bucking back over, I don't have to, though. I don't understand. It's not going to help me. It's not going to change my grade. And there's no reason for it. I'm like, man, it needs to be a habit for you. You're creating habits to last longer than what you think. And man, it was a real tug of war.
They got, just like in basketball, they gotta want it first. It's gotta be them. You can push,
right?
But they gotta want it. It gotta be them saying, I want to get better at this.
But there's some things in life where, like, if it's sports, I'm gonna say, fine, you don't want to do it. When in school, like, there's some things that are so crucial. I'm a buck with you. if you wrong, I'm gonna go wherever it goes because I'm standing on what I think is right. And she don't like it. I don't care if you know what I mean? You ain't ready to accept it. That's where I hope eventually you understand. Because I'm going to fight it as long as I got that. Like you said, it's 17, 18. You lose that control. It ain't the same. Like, yo, I'm telling you, I'm gonna fight it. I'm going to hold it until I get to that point. You know, if it's standing on right, you know.
Yeah.
I think that it's one of those things where you're always going to be right as a parent. Because that's the role of the parent and the way the dynamics are. But as they get to a certain age, and some kids mature a little bit different than others. Things like just using like a classroom and the education and all that stuff. The hard part is that we know that it's not like it ain't the education that you emphasizing. You emphasizing just in whatever you do.
Right. No, the stuff that we know is important
for
is not
kid,
in the curriculum.
When the system is set up where
that's not in the curriculum.
You know what I mean? Like that's where the challenge is at. And you just like, that's a tough battle because
there's a whole bunch of things that we go through life and we don't know nearly enough about. There's a billion things that we don't know nothing or not enough. But there's like a few things that we can grasp along our journey that's like, I do know this. I do know that doing your best is the best way to go in life. I don't care what you say. You don't like it, but that's the best. I do know that controlling what you control is the best way to go in life. I do know that, blaming yourself before you blame other people is the best. Like there's certain things, hard work, being able to discipline yourself, treating others the way you want to be treated. Like there's a few things, maybe 5 to 10 that you do know absolutely. And I ain't willing to say that my experience I went through that taught me this was wrong because I really went through it. You know what I mean? And now me as an adult telling someone who hasn't gone through it, hopefully I showed you enough love and relationship to where you believe me. But I ain't finna give up just because you don't understand yet. Like, nah.
Yeah,
man.
but you know what I've learned, man? I've learned that from a child's point of view, the things we've been through, there is no way that they can even imagine. So it's very hard to grasp onto what I'm telling you is right. And this is the road you need to go down. Believe me, I know. It's hard for them to grasp that. Even my girls, they used to fight me all the time. Like, Dad, how do you know? Like, listen, I know. Trust me. Exactly. I'm not going to steer you wrong.
Yeah.
I just had to tell them, look, have I ever steered you in the wrong direction? Ever in life?
That's the relationship.
No. Okay. So then just believe that I know best.
Yeah.
Once you build that connection, then it's easier to break through.
Nah, I hear.
Because I was having a tough time too.
But now, and what age would you say where you started seeing that breakthrough?
It was late. Probably not until 15, 16. 15, 16, I want to say I started to break through and they started to see, oh, Dad, okay, you were right. Okay, I see. And then they go through enough things and then they're like, okay, I believe now.
I think high school, you end up seeing a lot of different things that start taking you to some real life. And my daughter, she's 8th grade. It's distance learning, so it ain't really the same school social experience, but she's going into freshman year next year. And there's another fight we've been going through is her wearing these doggone belly shirts. We're doggone half your belly coming out and then damn yoga pants. I'm like, man, there's nothing on earth that says if you don't wear these yoga pants and belly shirts, you're gonna lose something in life. Like there's nothing that says you have to do this or you're gonna miss out on something. Like and that type of attention that you're bringing, I know you don't need that. She don't understand it. And the other big part of it is that,
we kind of opened
it. And I want them to get the next level of that where the reason I feel this is not made up. Like, the reason I feel this is because we love them. I love you. And the energy and the attraction that you're bringing to that, we know that they're choosing it because of the fad. But the energy and attraction is going to be real life and real. And it's not going to be a fad. Like, you're going to get people, and there's people that unfortunately are more slimy and sneaky and wiser and more experienced, and they could throw some type of whatever they throw, whether it's words or money or stuff or whatever, and at times they get naive people's attention. Like, you never know what that dynamic could be to where somebody's able to get your attention based on what you're attracting to yourself. And now I try to still lean on the fact of where she's like, I'm sure you the same way, where we instill in them the right things. They're getting the right character, and ultimately we got to lean on that's going to come out. But when you see them going down a path where you know it's going to be harder, I mean, maybe they need to learn that lesson, but you know it's going to be more challenging, and then something may come of it, and then it's like, man, I'm just hoping that one day when you lean on truth, you're gonna understand it. And if I gotta be the one you hate for a minute, well, I'm trying to get you to understand it, man. For this little bitty time we got left, because mine is 14. I ain't gonna be able to. I got about 2 years left.
Yo, when I leave this earth, my daughter's going to say that my dad said one thing to us all the time: life is about choices. Absolutely. I tell him that all the time.
Absolutely.
And yo, this dude, man, I'm gonna tell you a quick story. This dude, about I want to say maybe 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah.
I met a dude that he worked at. We was in the same industry, right? And we were talking about our kids, and he was talking very highly of his daughter. She's very smart. She gets all these accolades. She gets all these scholarships to these colleges and whatnot. And basically, I asked him. I said, so she's gonna go to some, big college, or she wants to go out of town or something. She's got a bunch of offers. Where's she gonna go? He said she's gonna stay right here in town. And that kind of threw me. I said, oh, okay, so she wants to stay in town. Do you want her to stay in town? He said, it doesn't matter where she goes. She could go anywhere she wants. I said, wow. So she's choosing to stay in town. I said, wow. I said, how did you manage that? He said, and this changed my life. The way what he said changed my life and how I looked at my daughters. He said, I never stopped her from doing things. I always allowed her to make choices in life, and whether good or bad, she got to make that choice. I was there to guide her, but I never pressured her into making choices that she couldn't handle. So he said, when it comes time for her to go to college, she didn't feel like she had to run away to get away from my control. So she decided to stay in town and be home. To me, that was like, boom, that blew my mind. Yeah. Because I was like, my daughters ain't gonna get to do nothing. Yo, they ain't gonna get to do nothing. They ain't ripping and running, and none of this is happening. And so what does that create? They want to run off to college, and they want to go as far away as they possibly can, so they can do all the stuff that you didn't get to do.
Come on now.
So for me, I was like, that's so brilliant, man. He gave her freedom so she didn't have to run to go get it.
No, and
it was that time. Man, ever since that day, I've treated my daughters differently. I've really taken on kind of what he told me, and it's really worked, man. Really worked.
So much different dealing with daughters, man. I'm telling you, it ain't the same when you guys.
I agree.
It's a whole nother thing with these daughters, man. It's a whole nother thing, and that's where I can roll with that to an extent where I feel like, because I mean, we know there's a naivety that comes with being young, and by allowing them to make choices too young, it's almost, I feel like you're almost opening them up to too much. And there is a point where they like hopefully they've gotten enough from you to where I think you have to do that. There's no such thing as a lifetime child that's gonna go through their whole life and you being able to dictate and control. Like that just doesn't exist for fathers that are that type of like I'm just gonna be the no dad, the bully dad the whole time. Like that to me, that's there's no hope in that. There's no way. But there is a point. I think there's a time while they're young where you are that, and then you hopefully are. In myself, I'm hoping that I'm able to let go when it's time to let go, as their understanding maturity comes into a certain functional level. You know what I mean? And then, because it ain't real, like it's gonna be them.
It comes down to how much you love them, man. Like I want to protect my baby from the world. It's not.
But we can't.
It's not coming from a malicious place where I just don't want you to do. No, I know what's out there, and I don't want you to be exposed or hurt by any of that stuff. So it comes from a place of love.
And we were the ones that wouldn't hurt you. We were the ones.
You know, it's so hard, man. It's so hard. So you really have to allow them to make some decisions and allow them to spread their wings a little bit. Because now I'm not saying let them go. But you gotta let them make some of these choices and mistakes. They have to make mistakes.
Oh, that's
you know what I'm saying? So that they understand.
That's a big part of the hard part. Like, man, being able to watch them do that.
Right.
You know, and knowing they wrong, knowing it could be better or easier, but they doing a road that's more challenging. Man.
And when my daughters make mistakes, I talk to them about it. I'm like, okay, what did you learn from that? Mm-hmm. You went into it thinking this, but what did you learn? Mm-hmm. And they can tell me what they learned. Okay, I learned that I shouldn't have did this, or I made this mistake. Or okay, so now you know next time not to do that same thing. Move different. Man, I'm telling you, until my daughters turned about 15, 16 years old, man, it was rough. It was rough, dog.
Man, I'm at that like the edge of where your roughness was. I'm at the edge of that at 14.
Yeah, it was rough, dog. But it gets easier.
Like I said, part of the hardest part of that. I actually got some things. I don't know if did y'all hear about the Blake Griffin?
Yeah.
Blake Griffin get bought out. Now, when I first heard it, I was kind of thinking, man, I hope Portland's on the list. And then I seen that Portland was on the list of his teams, and I started thinking, I don't know if I want Blake.
You don't really want him on the list.
I don't really know if I want to be on that list. Man,
hey, it ain't the Blake Griffin of old. It ain't the
dunk in like 2-3 years.
And since 2019, he has not dunked the ball.
He ain't dunked since 2019.
That's crazy.
Get out of here, man. Come on, Blake.
His athleticism is gone.
Man. But what y'all think, though? You think Blake could come in and help somebody?
Not y'all.
Nah, not the Blazers. They
talk
up and down.
Don't talk about that.
Only team he can help, they don't need him no way.
I actually do think we need a player in that position, especially with Nurk and Zach Collins being injured. I do think that a playmaker from the post, or not the post, from the forward center, somebody who can be a playmaker / threat to score, I think would help the Blazers right now. That's what Nurk does, and Nurk ain't back.
But Blake is a shooter now, and he's not even good at that.
There you go. I don't want that.
I'm just saying.
I don't want that.
I'm just saying.
If he can make threes, but he's willing to do some of the grimy stuff and give us like
what you
8
just
to 10
described. Basically, what you had just described at first, though, was isolating Blake. And
no,
we on the ball. That's what you described.
Okay. Sometimes
I said,
nah. Hear me on this. Okay, hear me on this. Because when we play, the biggest detriment to our success when teams play, the game plan that hurts us the most is when they trap Dame. So we're playing off of giving 4-on-3. Teams give up that 4-on-3 because they're trapping Dame. Now, if we're going to big that's able to do something when you get that 4-on-3 type of matchup where somebody's scrambling to get you and you're able to make a play, whether it's a quick score or a quick pass or something, I think he would be more successful at that than Damon Jones or Robert Covington. The Blake that I'm seeing, if he's Blake that we would think he is, but from what we've seen,
he ain't that no more.
I think he wanted to do too much.
But exactly. No, I don't see him as Shaq.
I'll tell you this, what a lot of people's problem is in that role is when you get the ball and they know you ain't fit to score.
Yeah.
Then it's like you gonna pass 4-on-3. But you don't think it's different. You don't think it's different if he's playing 4-on-3.
No, I don't. I think that because the defense is gonna guard him. They're gonna be like, there ain't gonna be no dunks, so we know you ain't going over the top. And then that the people who's on the help side, they ain't really gotta help because
he ain't going to the hole.
Yeah, he ain't going to the basket. So it's
all he gonna do is shoot.
You gonna stay with him.
Yeah. I think that's why I said I'm not sure.
Like they gonna take away the option. They gonna let him just penetrate and kick to the 3-pointer for the.
I think Blake at the best version of himself relative to where he is now, I think would be effective, especially more effective playing 4-on-3. I think that would be built right up his alley for him to be whatever position he is on that 4-on-3. If it was where Blake needs to be a factor where he's creating the 4-on-3, you're shot. Like you're done. You got no chance. But if we got Dame, he ain't gonna be doing the main factor type stuff. He's gonna be.
I just think that when they throw him the ball off of it, him going to the hole ain't no option. I think that all he can do is shoot the ball.
I ain't gonna say.
And I'm going like
he's only 30.
Or just pass it to
31.
Yeah, it's so sad to see the extreme decline of that man's athleticism, but that's the way it goes sometimes.
I don't know. And I don't know if I want him. Like I said,
Draymond Green is a better factor,
Definitely.
and it ain't.
Definitely.
And what's crazy about it is he ain't like this. That's what I think was when you first asked the question. I was going, once upon a time, Blake was like kind of better Draymond at like that one position, not as a basketball player, but
without the defense,
at one position of scoring, like if somebody had a double team, they kicked it, Blake Griffin the ball.
Offensively,
dribble, attack the basket, do everything.
He can be a threat.
He
can be a threat.
What does that do?
Pass it or score it.
He didn't lost the athleticism so much that it's almost like when you get old. It's the reason why we all can shoot now. Because, don't nobody want to go to the hole. And then when somebody young let me make this motherfucker go to the hole. Even if it worked, you be like, you pay the cost. You be like, I
ain't going to last if you keep doing it.
Yeah, you can't.
only got a couple of these jumps in you.
Yeah, all this jumps, man. He might fool you one night, but he ain't going to keep doing it. And they know it. And so,
Draymond Green absolutely would be a better fit, especially with Portland. I actually, I heard a rumor from Jalen and Kobe where they were talking about, what's the name? Gary Trent Jr. for Draymond on Jalen and Jacoby. This was like maybe 3-4 weeks ago. But they were talking about it like it was a rumor. He was like, man, I've been hearing this in NBA circles. And then he said Draymond for Gary Trent Jr. because they need scoring and they need shooting and type stuff. And Draymond got a big contract. I would do that in a heartbeat to get Draymond up here, to get that that leadership, that culture.
That's a dog. You gotta put it. You want to put a dog in the fight. That's a dog
in a heartbeat. And I like Gary Trent Jr.
Right. He's a dog, but he ain't the dog.
Come on, man. Draymond is right now.
Yes, when
you talking about doing it right now, Draymond is a culture. Because I think Dame is at a level to win a championship right now. Our team is not.
Yeah.
But Dame,
he's been at that level for years.
Dame is, and he's still getting better, I think. Like, he's still, you can see where he's a gym rat. Like, he's still putting time in to work on his game, even though he's accomplished. But CJ, I think, was starting to get that. This year, CJ was on an all-star type of track before he got hurt. But other than that, nobody else is, like, on that level with Dame where they're ready right now. Draymond will bring some of that right now. Like, you in that time frame. Draymond's about the same age, you know. But man, this you know, I'm a Portland fan though, so I'm the fan.
Yeah, I think you dreaming and hoping and wishing.
I ain't say we gonna win the championship, but I ain't say we gonna win the championship.
What? What just happened?
But I ain't saying that they're in that next level. They ain't in that group yet. But we still gonna win the championship.
All right.
And the Giants. You know.
Y'all had actually a pretty good season considering. Y'all actually had a pretty good season. The Giants.
Man, almost had it. Philly didn't throw that game at the end. Man, Philly threw that game. We was about to get in the playoffs with the worst record ever. It's gonna get in 6-10 and get in the playoffs.
Terrible. Y'all though.
You'd be happy. You
horrible.
would be happy about that too, huh?
I would have took it. I would have took it. But and truth be told, as a Giants fan, I wasn't happy on either one of them Eli Super Bowls. And then he won a Super Bowl. Like, man, they wasn't that good during the regular season.
When you talking shit.
Exactly. Hey, but I got to experience that, man, as a grown-up. That was I thank you, Eli. You gave me 2 of them things.
A lot of people that's happy about it.
Man, to get a little bit of that, but nah, that Blake Griffin though, man. I think that somebody's gonna get him and really think he's gonna change something, and then it ain't. I don't know if it's really gonna happen like that.
It ain't gonna.
But
I think he gotta go somewhere that don't need him. Like, that's the only way it's gonna work, because he can't be needed to win.
Well, he said maybe Miami. It was Portland, Brooklyn, Miami, or it was Phoenix.
Out of here.
I think it was Phoenix.
He ain't better than Bam. He ain't better than Bam.
No, he wouldn't start over Bam.
Huh?
He wouldn't start over Bam. Hell no.
Hell no. That's absolutely.
He would, but I think he would have a role there. Miami ain't like that, deep like that. He would.
They ain't gonna win it though.
I think he would. Well, I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. They is not winning no championship.
I would have said they ain't going. I would have said that last year.
That's the only addition. Put it like this: it'd take a whole lot of injuries for Brooklyn, the Lakers.
That man lost 100% of his athletic ability. That's crazy.
Like, in the East right now, it looks like it's Brooklyn and Philly.
Yeah, like both of them, everybody has to be hurt.
Boston, Toronto, Milwaukee.
But I wouldn't say that I think necessarily quite as kept that Philly. I wouldn't just give them it over Miami all the way. Like in a series, I think in a playoff series, man, I think Miami, would give them fits. But because Miami, they tough, man. Like, it's hard in a grinding season. Like, I try to tell people, I'm going, when you done just got through playing all the way to the last game of the NBA championship, where everybody else is resting, then you got to try to turn around in that little quick turnaround and have to try to do it again. Them and the Lakers, man, this first half of season, you could tell there was moments where they just was like, You know,
well, and they had some injuries, and then they had some COVID stuff where they had an infection on their team, so they lost players for a minute.
Don't be all the way connected to it.
They didn't have their whole team there. Yeah, but now I hear you. That emotional investment is huge, and you just coming off of that, and you got to get right back in emotionally, even probably more than physically. You got to still hang in there and don't let go of the rope. Nah, but I think Doc for Philly has made a difference. I think Doc, and then with Joel Embiid, like he's really on a track to be MVP and looking like he got a chance to be the best player in the league. You can't say it right now because it's regular season. He can't really earn that title until it gets time in the playoffs to really show what's, when it's crunch time. But he's looking like he's on that track to make that at least be in the conversation where, the last few years, Steph got in there against LeBron, James Harden, Russ maybe got in there, Giannis got in there, then Kawhi got in there, but LeBron is still the best player. Like he's proven it too much in the end, especially last year being champion. And now Embiid got an action at that level, and I think Doc is really helping that.
Yeah, Doc is the man. There's no doubt about that. And so I will put Philly at number 2 in the East.
Behind Brooklyn?
Yeah, but Brooklyn is head and shoulders above them.
Man, what do you think? And that's what I got a little list here. I got some player comparisons I was going to throw at y'all. I was hoping more people to be here so we get some opinions, but I'm going to throw a couple at y'all.
I got to get ready to get off of the tube, man. It's almost dinner time.
Yeah, I'm going to just throw
I got to go to the bathroom.
But the Harden as a scorer versus Harden as a passer the way he's playing now, which brand you like better?
Well, this brand is better.
This brand right here is balling.
Yeah, this brand is better.
Yeah, but I still don't like the way Harden just completely stops the offense and you just watching him go one-on-one. I don't like that. I never liked that.
Even still in Brooklyn.
And when he was in,
have you watched?
When he was in Houston,
he don't do it the same.
In Brooklyn, have you seen him in Brooklyn?
Yeah, I watched a little bit, and it still looked like he playing that Houston one-on-one.
He's
he moving the ball a little bit more,
yeah.
But it's like he bring the ball past half court, and he don't look to pass. He's dribbling. He isoing with his man. It's like everybody else is just standing around.
He don't really do the
he
early.
He go to the hole and then dump it off. But it's like that same. That didn't
I
work.
hear what you're saying. He still got I think he got a high usage rate to where he don't really get the hockey assists or the early ups, but he has definitely shown more of a willingness to give that thing up where he's driving and drawing and creating, and he's getting people shots right now. Like he's really being aggressive to create shots. And his brand right now, man, I think he's balling right now.
I just used to look at him in Houston and say, man, that brand of basketball is never gonna win you a championship.
I agree.
But you're right. He is doing it differently. He has a little bit of a twist on it.
He was looking towards that scoring stuff in Houston with that D'Antoni system, but now, man,
playing with better players, man. Change, like you have the opportunity to change your game. Don't mean you're gonna.
Especially when you got an ego.
That's the thing, and they haven't as good as they've been, and I predict them to win the East also. But that's really some in part because the East is still years behind the West. But there had to be a number 2. So Brooklyn, they're cool, but I don't think, just like with the Lakers, they're not judged right now.
Right.
The pressure ain't real pressure right now.
Philly either. Kyrie either.
Yeah. Pressure gonna come in them playoffs when it's an elimination.
Milwaukee.
You're gonna see now is Kyrie the friendly-go-lucky Kyrie, who everything is good, and he's my favorite teammates and all that shit.
Yeah.
And when Harden
some stuff you can't learn
that ball and do the step back, and then you don't win or something.
And that shit ain't going in. Yeah, there's gonna be a problem.
I want to see them how you react then. And then,
you're right. I just hope he don't go back to that Houston style of play and fuck it off.
And Kyrie got a style of play too that can be in question.
Kyrie got a style of life.
True.
Yeah, I mean, and he
got a style of life.
We're talking about like really in the sense we know it's kind of nitpicking-ish because these two dudes is ultra cold.
Oh yeah.
And so we're just
they haven't even been playing. They haven't had KD.
Highest level in what we think of how you play the game the right way. But we ain't, because these dudes is too cold not to like just kind of throw that out there, man. I mean, because Kyrie they won a championship doing it his way. LeBron wanted him to do his way most, and Kyrie kind of just was like, whatever his beef was with LeBron.
LeBron didn't tell him that.
That's what he act like, or he didn't do a good job explaining.
Yeah,
I'm sure that LeBron's camp is saying they was telling him.
I don't know about it. Well, it might have been a bad job explaining. Absolutely, it could have been, because I know what I do know is Kyrie didn't get it.
That's what matters.
And he got the hell on.
But here, let me throw this at y'all real quick. Donovan versus Jamal Murray. Who would y'all take?
Donovan.
I like Donovan.
He balling this year. Last year, it'd have been more of a question.
I think he's a little bigger too, man.
Yeah, he got a little more size on him.
Nah.
Like he got
muscle wise.
Yeah, like a little bit more thickness.
He looks like
he got more. He ain't taller though. Jamal Murray, I think, is taller.
Nah.
He ain't taller. They got to be close on that, but I know.
I think it's like 6'5" to 6'3" or something. I would guess Jamal Murray 6, but I hear he got more explosion. Definitely athletically.
Yeah, hell yeah.
What about Luka versus Book?
Luka.
Yeah, I like Luka.
Over Book?
This game is just
I love some Book.
Man, Luka's game is just
Book wasn't even invited to the All-Star game this year.
That was a travesty.
Well, you keep on having travesties. Luka starter.
That was a travesty. That was a travesty too. Dame should have started.
I'm just telling you what the facts are. So if you're going to have a team, why would you not want your franchise dude to be the franchise dude?
I think that
Chris Paul came in and took over the franchise. He was an all-star and Book wasn't.
And have you watched him play?
I have.
Who's more of an impact to you?
I mean, I know who the man is, but I'm saying Chris.
Come on, man.
Chris Paul.
He got a name that comes with him, and when they're winning,
I watched him the other night, man. He's
doing his thing too. No, Chris Paul is balling,
but he passed, assisted, controlled the whole game, and only shot the ball one time at the very end of 3 to make them win the game. And I was just like,
Chris Paul is brilliant, but like you just said,
impacted
man. You know who their man is.
Yeah, the all-star.
Kawhi versus Jaylen Brown.
Who?
Kawhi versus Jaylen Brown.
Kawhi.
He got more reputation, more accomplishment. Jaylen Brown's on the upside.
He's a proven winner.
Klay Thompson versus Jimmy Butler.
I like Klay.
I like Klay.
I like Klay.
I think Jimmy got leadership stuff that Klay ain't got.
Yeah, but Jimmy don't have that killer
Klay got
instinct.
the shot.
Jimmy don't have that killer instinct, man.
What? Jimmy?
He don't have that killer instinct. Go for the juggler. Jimmy is just like
all he got.
I don't know about that with Jimmy. I don't know about that.
When I watch him play, I want to see him take over. He don't be wanting to take over. He be passing the ball too much. Like, I'm not the man. Like, come on, man.
In Miami?
You didn't see how he got to the finals last year?
I watched him.
Jimmy
he was
killed.
exhausted. He put the whole everything on his back.
Jimmy killed. Jimmy killed.
Yeah, he did his thing. But that's the best he's ever played. That's the best Jimmy's ever played.
Yeah, that was amazing how he played, man.
Yeah,
I didn't know he had that in him.
See, that's what I'm talking about. That's exactly what I'm talking about. You didn't know he had that in him.
Oh, but it was fun to watch.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I was like, this dude is putting it all on. And that's
if he played like that all the time, it would be Jimmy.
Jimmy's intangibles, I think, as a hooper, as a gym rat, and as a teammate, his intangibles like translate so much into basketball and team sports. Like the way he approaches it as a worker and then as a teammate, as a leader.
So now you going off teammate in the locker room and all. I thought we were talking about this game.
There you go. That ain't part of it. That ain't part of it.
It is part of it. Okay. So you don't think Clay is a good teammate?
Yeah.
He is. I think so. But I think Draymond is really the heart.
This ain't even no argument.
All right, let me go. Let me move on. AD versus the Freak.
They both leave.
There you go. AD, why did AD come into the season out of shape and not? This was like supposed to be his coronation. He was supposed to ascend to the best player.
I still give it to AD though.
Because of the shot.
I like the Freak. I like the
shot.
Freak.
Yeah. Huh?
Because of the shot.
Yeah, that's it.
I think AD do got a more.
I just know that AD, I think, will make a free throw at the end of the game with Luka asking, just as likely to airball that motherfucker as he will pick it up. And so I'm like, that right there to me, I can't. Like, to me, that like deflates the franchise, man. Like, how you gonna win the game when your best player can't make a free throw?
I hear that.
And then not just missing them.
And he might airball. He might airball the free throw.
Come on, dog.
Here you go. Kyrie versus Drew Holiday.
Kyrie.
Ooh, really?
Yeah.
Kyrie is
both of y'all.
Mad. Yo, Kyrie is ill. That nigga, when he played, he remind me of Mike.
Man. Kyrie is that cold.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Drew
Holiday is.
Kyrie got that Michael Jordan type footwork. That
okay, let me ask you this though. Is Kyrie gonna be the full version of Kyrie against Drew for 7 games?
He has no choice. He has to be.
Drew. Come on, man. I don't think he's gonna be 100% of what Kyrie is against everybody else against Drew.
I hear what you're saying, but I'm going. The greatness in Kyrie is that his offense is undeniable.
Offense beats good defense every day of the week.
No stopping offense. The stat silky smooth, man. It don't even matter. Like, you play good defense, but that offense is so magnificent that it's like you need everybody else to play great defense too, because you ain't just guarding nobody like that.
Double teams, yeah. But Drew, I think if you got a chance to sit in front, Drew got some of that. A bet.
Yeah, Drew
better overall version of Patrick Beverly. I mean, I don't know if he's as elite defender, but he's a defender, and then he does the offense also.
Right. I'm saying his defense ain't fit to stop Kyrie Irving. Like that's like
I got you.
You're right. Kyrie got too many things in his bag.
Chris Middleton, Bradley Beal.
You said Middleton or Bradley Beal?
Middleton and Beal.
Beal.
I think Beal is definitely more explosive this year.
But I like Middleton's game, man. I think they need to give him the ball at the end of the game.
They do. They do.
Yeah.
No, they absolutely do. Or Drew. CJ versus Zach LaVine.
CJ McCollum?
Yeah.
I like CJ.
Yeah, CJ.
Over Zach LaVine?
I like CJ, man. CJ just find a way to get it done. He's that kind of player. He finds a way.
I would trade CJ for Zach LaVine right now. And
you crazy.
I would.
Yeah.
Well, shit, my guy. It's good to see you. Good to hear from you.
Yeah, man. This like I said, man, keep us connected, man. It's always good to see you, man. You know?
Yeah, man.
My kids got Uncle Leonard that they ain't never seen yet.
Like, and vice versa, my guy.
Man, they're like, man, that's your Uncle Leonard. That's Uncle Leonard.
Hey,
okay. Yeah.
I'm gonna have to have them come check me out when we do this one time so they can see your face.
We got to, man, just on a personal level, even if it don't go public, you know, just to be able to say our kids see each other, man. They get to know.
Right.
And you got an uncle in Bakersfield. Like, y'all don't even know yet.
Yep, no doubt.
My guy, man, it's always good.
Yeah, much love, man. So let me know, keep me posted, man. I'm gonna try to get in here when I can, my guy. Like tonight, man, I was hustling and bustling trying to get to this thing, man. I was all over the place. I made it.
Get some of that, man. And then it's good for us, man. Especially when we get more people and we start doing the call outs and where we really, I mean, within that group, you know, it's all love. So if we busting each other's balls and getting better as people, as fathers, as men, you know what I mean? Especially, you know, at this stage in our life, man, I don't think there's a way to replace that as far as the relationships go, man. So, man, I'm hoping we keep it going.
Right. I'm with you.
Let's do it. I'll hit you on the next one. I'm thinking about 2 weeks or so.
All right.
All right now. Much love.
All right. Peace.
My guy.